Imagine being the most famous musician on the planet, more popular than Elvis would ever be. Your music is playing on every radio in America. Then you board a tiny, single-engine plane for a 45-minute flight, and you disappear forever. No mayday call, no wreckage, no body, just silence. This is the unsolved mystery of Glenn Miller. During World War II, Glenn Miller wasn't just a musician. He was the sound of America. In the Mood, Moonlight Serenade, Chattanooga Choo Choo. His swing music sold more records than anyone else in the country. He was making $20,000 a week, a fortune in 1942. Then, at the absolute peak of his fame, at age 38, he walked away from it all. He enlisted in the U.S. Army Air Forces. Why? He said modern music needed to reflect modern war. He wanted to lift the spirits of the troops. The Army made him a major and gave him the Army Air Force Band, a 50-piece super band that became better than his original civilian band ever was. They broadcast across all of Allied Europe. For millions of homesick GIs, Glenn Miller was home. By December 1944, Paris had just been liberated. Miller was desperate to get his band to Paris to play for the troops for Christmas. On December 15, 1944, a cold, foggy afternoon at RAF Twinwood Farm in Bedford, England, Miller boarded a small, unarmed Nerdine UC-64 Norseman. Tail number 44 to 70,285. A tiny fabric-covered plane with a single engine, not meant for winter over water. The pilot was Flight Officer John Morgan. Also on board was Lieutenant Colonel Norman Bessel. Destination, Paris-Orly, less than an hour away. His band was supposed to follow later. Miller was flying ahead to arrange everything. The ground crew watched it take off at 1:55 p.m. into a thick, freezing fog. Visibility was less than a mile. It was the last time anyone ever saw Glenn Miller. The plane never arrived in Paris. No distress call was ever heard. No trace was ever found. The next day, his band waited at the airfield in Paris. He never showed up. For over 80 years, the disappearance has haunted America. Theory 1, the weather, the official and most likely theory. The Norseman had a carburetor that was notorious for icing up in freezing fog. Over the freezing English Channel, the engine could have simply stopped. The small plane would have dropped like a stone into the black water and vanished. Theory 2, friendly fire. In 1984, a former RAF gunner claimed he saw a Norseman get hit. On that same day, hundreds of RAF Lancaster bombers were returning from an aborted raid on Germany. Their orders, dump all unused bombs over the channel. One crew reported seeing a small plane below them get flipped and destroyed by the blast wave from their jettison bombs. Was it Miller's plane? Theory 3, the conspiracies, because no body was found, the wild theories began. That he died at a brothel in Paris and the army covered it up. That he was on a secret mission to negotiate a surrender with the Nazis. That he survived and lived under a new name. The army investigated all of them. None had a shred of evidence. In the end, The Army officially declared Major Alton Glenn Miller dead on December 16, 1945. 1 year and 1 day after he vanished. No funeral. No grave. Just a memorial headstone at Arlington National Cemetery. More than 8 years later, we still listen to his music. And we still look at that gray stretch of water between England and France and wonder, was America's greatest bandleader simply a victim of cold, bad luck, and bad weather? Or is the truth about his final flight still down there, waiting to be found? Some songs end too soon, and some mysteries never stop playing.